Hi, my name is Gene Showalter, and this is my TQA Groundwork in Phase 1 video. We will be going over two score sheets, Groundwork in Phase 1. This is the Groundwork score sheet where we will go over good to catch, Stage 1, horizontal direction, Stage 2, 3, and 4, as well as leading and picking up feet. And this next score sheet here, we'll go over Phase 1, which is good to catch, which is also a review of Groundwork. Stand in the saddle and accept bridle, horizontal direction on the ground and on their side and back, as well as standing to get on, doubling, walking, loping, and willing submission at Stage 2. Here we have saddling. Important things to look for while saddling is standing still first off, as well as accepting the saddle. You can see that she didn't quite stand still while I threw the saddle on, but there's a lot of commotion in the arena, so I don't completely blame her. But she stands pretty quiet for me putting her cinches up and everything else. And that's a really good thing to look for. She keeps her eye on me the whole time, which I really appreciate. And she's really focused on me, which is helpful. She's come a long way since we first started, especially as far as standing still and being confident about this goes. Come on. There we go. And she's pretty quiet for all the cinching. Stands really well. And continues to respect me. Going to both sides, making sure everything's square. Everything looks good with her. And she took the saddle really well, so I'll score her that at a 2. Next, we'll go into bridling. I want her to keep collected, keep her thought on me. You can see she's kind of trying to leave. And I want her to accept that bit pretty much on her own. This is a little bit sped up, but she did it pretty well. Not outstanding by any means, but not bad for only a couple weeks of being bridled. For saddling and bridling overall, I'll go ahead and score it a 0 for the day. Here we're going to work on our horizontal direction as well as getting on her sides. Get a little bit of horizontal direction in Stage 1. Does this one pretty well. Throws her head a little bit. And after the filming of this video, she got chiropractor on and she was out in a lot of spots really. So at throwing her head, I'm going to relate to pain rather than blatant disobedience. Here we have horizontal direction in Stage 1 on the ground. And I really liked how she responded with that. And then we'll go ahead and get up on her side again. Her right side, she's had a little more of a spot with. Nothing too serious, but it is there. So I'm making sure she's focused on me and ready for it. And then we'll get Stage 1. That was a really clean Stage 1. So as far as horizontal direction in Stage 1 on the ground goes, I'll score her at a 0. And then as far as on her side and on her back goes, I'll score her at a -1 or a -2, just because it wasn't very clean and smooth. Here, I'll go ahead and get on her. Another important thing on our score sheet is stand to get on. You can see here that she doesn't quite want to stand, but I'm also asking for horizontal direction to make sure her thought is with me, as she has had a sticky spot when I get on her back. Here we'll go ahead and Stage 1 a little more. She gets sticky-footed like there. So I'm just going to double her until she feels confident with me being on her back and confident moving her feet. There she worked her mouth a little bit. It's really important to me that my horses respond well to me on their back. Then they're able to move their feet. If their feet get sticky and they don't really want to move, they can be surprised suddenly and decide to explode, for lack of a better term. I really don't appreciate that, especially when I'm on their back. Now I'm just going to keep on doubling her here until she feels confident enough to go back to the right. I kind of sped this up because it takes her a while to find that confidence. And she's getting more comfortable with me on her back. But you can see there that was still a definite spot between switching eyes. So I'm just going to kind of keep her thought to the left and get her used to me. And here, slow back down, and we'll go to the right. Definite spot there. But we got through it, and she didn't have any accidents, which was a benefit. And once again, this was on a Thursday of the week, and the next week we had a chiropractor coming. And at the time of me recording my voice right now on this video, she had a lot of spots out. So hopefully with a couple days off, everything will realign and she'll be a lot less hurt when I'm on her back, which should improve a lot of our problems. Here we're going to go back to the left. And that was a lot better than our last switch. She's a lot calmer, a lot more confident. Everything went a lot smoother. So once again, our doubling standing with me on her back. She has a really solid double as far as getting the maneuver done goes. But she's not very smooth with it. She's not very soft in her face, which once again is because she hurts. But she gets it done and she listens pretty well. Once again, the video is sped up here. So her moving her feet that faster because of the video, not because she can. And then eventually here, I'm going to try and move her out at the walk. This is kind of the hard thing with this horse because she either wants to move her feet or doesn't, but very rarely does she want to move out. So here we're getting some walking. Not a lot of straight lines. That's okay because she was worried. And we had a good double at the walk. We'll try and get some walk the other way. Anytime she feels tight, I'm going to double her just so she doesn't think she can scoot or anything and surprise herself or hurt herself or get me off balance or any of the like. Try and get her to move forward here. And you can see here she's kind of buddy sour to my videoer, my cameraman. So we had a lot of problems with getting some direction. But here she moved out pretty well. Really nice soft walk. Now I'll go ahead and double the other way. As far as doubling the walk goes, I'd probably score that as a 0 because we got it done, but nothing about it was super smooth. Then here we'll do stand to get off, which is kind of added to stand to get on. And she stood really well for that. Once again, here we have our phase 1 score sheet where we go over all the things that we went over in our video. All the 8 categories, and then I will talk about my scoring for the 6 categories in the temperament side of the sheet. And you can switch back and forth, but I'll go over it on my score sheet evaluation. And here in the score sheet, I scored her self-preservation at a -2 for the day. I scored her confidence at a -2 as well, just because of that left eye, right eye stickiness. I scored her energy at a 3 because of how high it was. Then I scored her sensitivity as a high 3 as well, because everything she did, she was sensitive for. And here, her willingness to respond to a request, I put it a -2, just because she really bad wanted to do her own thing and wasn't really focusing on me very much. And then lastly, our reaction to social separation, I scored her to 0 because she didn't really care about horses one way or the other. And she was with me the whole time, which was good.